All right, now the next workout we're going to see is going to be a concentric workout. Now, of course, concentric means no lowering phase. What happens here? You have to have a rapid rate of force development to overcome the load from the bottom without a stretch reflex. And so we're going just to demonstrate a small workout. Mark Bell's going to demonstrate. Mark is a wrestler, a professional wrestler, and he's going to do a good morning concentrically, a squat, and then a bench press. So we'll show you how this works. Thank you. All right, now Mark's going to perform a couple concentric good mornings. Now here, this is on maximal effort day. We work up to as heavy as possible. I have one fellow here that actually done 800 pounds in this. Basically, this is about 3 feet off the ground. You can raise it or lower it as you please. But first, Mark's going to come in and do about 3 reps in the concentric good morning. Of course, the first repetition here is performed with absolutely no stretch reflex. As we work up to heavier weights, we normally take around 5 seconds in between reps. That completely cuts out the stretch reflex process. But this exercise is much like for deadlifting. We work up to max single here. Remember, max single. And it's a very hard exercise and causes a very fast rate of force development to overcome a heavy load from a rested position. All right, now next, we're going to go ahead and demonstrate the squat. All right, folks, now Mark's going to demonstrate the concentric squat. Now, Paul understood a lot of these years and years ago, and everybody realizes how strong he was. Basically, again, this is to build absolute strength. To raise this bar with heavy loads out of these chains without lowering first will develop a fast rate of force development. I've said this over and over, but this is what this does. It makes you extremely strong. Now, he's going to demonstrate 3 repetitions here, just to let you see what it looks like. All right, now you see how it's done. This is a very tough exercise of very heavy weights, but this makes you extremely strong. Remember, when a barbell is laying on the ground, it's basically laying there static. It must be come over by dynamic work. Barbell statically laying there, you must overcome that to get it off the floor. The same thing we're doing here out of these chains. It's just a different variety with different type of bars. All right, now let's demonstrate the bench press. All right, folks, now last, we're going to demonstrate a concentric bench. I suppose everyone knows that we have 22 people here who can bench at least 600 pounds. 5 are in the 7s. And since 1995, with the exception of 6 months, we've had the world's greatest bencher pound for pound. That being Kenny Pash for 5.5 years, and lately it's been George Halbert with a 733-pound lift weighing 215 pounds. They do a lot of this. Again, have to overcome the load from a rested position, builds an enormous amount of absolute strength. You also have to, if there's 500 pounds on here, you have to exert way past 500 just to get it to move, as you can realize. Not only get it to move, but then to be able to complete the lift. Again, we'll move the chains up and down, possibly sometimes right at the chest. All right, sometimes at the lockout, depending on what we're trying to work on. Same thing for squatting, same thing for the good mornings we did. We do a lot of different concentric work. Just use your imagination. You come up a lot of ways. Now, Mark's going to come in and do 3 reps. He's going to take long pauses in between, where there's no stretch reflex involved at all on the 2nd or 3rd rep. But once we get doing these, once we warm up and get to heavier weights, they're all singles. Crawl under it, press it up, lower it down, get out, next guy takes over. Here we go, folks. Pretty simple, but very effective. This can also be done for overhead lifts if you wish, or even the deadlift if you want to put the deadlift in. This is a lot different than a power rack. As you can see right now, this barbell is moving all around. Doesn't lay on pins, you don't lower down. It's a little less stressful on the joints than pressing all pins in a power rack. Alright folks, that concludes the concentric workout. Now let's go ahead and get into the next phase of the spatial strength training tape.